The army in Lebanon has cleared all the major roads in the capital Beirut and other cities as anti-government protests die down in the wake of Prime Minister Saad Hariri's resignation on Tuesday. The army had asked demonstrators earlier on Wednesday to clear all roadblocks to ensure that life returns to normal. The country saw 12 days of protests over a weakening economy and corruption, but so far there have been no protests on Wednesday. Hariri has been asked to become caretaker Prime Minister until a new government can be put into place. Let's go live now to Beirut. Aljazeera's Stefanie Dekker is outside the Prime Minister's residence in the capital. Steph, so the President has asked the Cabinet to stay on in a caretaker capacity. What happens next?
Yeah, this is in line with the Constitution. The important things, the big question mark still going forward is now we're waiting for the President to announce what they call binding party consultations. So the heads of the political blocs in Parliament will be discussing with the President as to who they will appoint as a potential new Prime Minister. This, in accordance with the laws here, needs to be a Sunni. Then, if there is agreement on that person is then tasked with forming a government, and then that needs to be agreed upon by the Parliament, voted on by the Parliament. So there's a lot up in the air. We know there's a lot of back and forths and disagreements within the political parties. So how long are they going to take? Are they going to come up with a format that will be acceptable to the people? And I think that still remains a big question here. The people, of course, want what they call a technocratic interim body to rule this country until there are new elections under a new non-sectarian electoral law. So these are ambitious demands. I mean, we've been out on the streets today. We've watched the army dismantling the roadblocks. Not all protesters were happy with that. Some saying that this is giving in to the government before all their demands have been met. Others telling us that no, we need to give them a couple of days. We need to give them 2-3 days to see what's going to happen, what's going to be implemented. This lessens the stress on the roads, on the people trying to move around this country, and then we will wait and see. So nothing has been solved yet, for sure. I think the challenges start now. There is a political crisis in this country. And again, we know from the past this country has seen political deadlock without a government, without a prime minister for a very long time. So everything is up in the air as to what shape any interim body is going to look like, and also how long it's going to take to agree on that. And then the big question, will the people be happy?
No protests so far today, then, Steph. Life beginning to get back to normal. What about the banks? Have they reopened?
Yes, we're seeing a slow trickle back to normal from what's been pretty much a paralysis of the last 2 weeks. Banks are not open yet. They have announced that as of tomorrow they're going to resume normal transactions, but they're not physically going to be open their doors just yet. We are expecting a statement maybe in the next couple of hours as to when that may be. Universities are slowly saying that they will be resuming classes tomorrow, including the American University of Beirut. They also have been closed. Many professors taking to the streets with their students in these calls. As I mentioned, also the roads now all open across the country. So there is a sense of somewhat normalcy when you come to just moving around the city. The fact that there's now more confidence trying to be instilled, that they're saying the banks are going to reopen. But as I mentioned, this doesn't really solve the bigger political issues on the table. It doesn't resolve the bigger issues that the people still demand. Are they going to lose momentum? Certainly the people we've been speaking to will tell you no, that roadblocks can resume if they're not happy with what's happening, that things can go back to where they were. But again, these are very unpredictable times. I don't think anyone can really tell you what the next few days are going to look like or the next few weeks are going to look like. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Al Jazeera, Stefanie Dekker reporting live there from Beirut. Steph, many thanks.